welcome to the final edition and the last broadcast of the 13th edition of FASHIONCLASH Festival. We had some technical difficulties with the sound, so I'm going to start my story all over again so you all know what we will be seeing today. Today we will be showing the Clash House, followed by the final episode of Digital Dive, the final fashion film and video, and a recap of new fashion narratives. We will close the festival with a fashion opera. Of course, we are taking it off with a bang. It's called What by Randy Sue and UU Studios, and it's one of their previous shows. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the Clash House, which we're going to see in a few. The Clash House is a talent development program and a showcase for a game-changing new generation of designers and artists. The presentations will contain interactive installations, performances, and film. As a part of the project, the designers received coaching by a number of experts. A special thanks to all the coaches and the Meester Koetsier Foundation for their support. The Clash House, which we are going to see after the break, presents TEUN, theNEWtribe, The Nightmare Disorder, Carlijn Veurink, and Bobbine Berden design. We will kick off the Clash House with a very special presentation by TEUN. After the break, enjoy the show.
Dear people, this body is sacred. I am activity, seduction, and pleasure. There ain't nothing in me that is not beautiful. I am who I am, ever full and living. This body is sacred place in many ways, either by what to do and the redoing, for the perfect, ugly, or wrong, for the inside, outside, or some. Achilles' heels, my heels. My fierceness will strengthen their powers. My beauty will make them ready. We will be joyful and amazing, blissful, stumbling exile. Without a penny, without direction, just twirling a feud of clothes on and on and on. Dear fellows, this one is sacred. I'll take her till it's smelly. Clove, cumin, cinnamon belly. To this brown, smooth skin can try all mistakes, all destinies, and engage with the unknown. I still don't know which way to go, don't know how many we are, know not which spaceship to take. That yellow pink prick to lick, but I will always remember that one, the tiny, shiny one thing. I love you really always, for all those nights and ever. Those centuries forever, for ages and ages, for ages and ages, amen. blood. Blood. Blood all over me. I don't care unless I'm free. You can throw some stone to my face so everyone can see. And you feel like being seen. Wash your bloody hands and pray to wash my pain away. To wash my pain away. Now you're playing stupid games. Stop killing people's names. I'm the faggot, you the same. You can take that gun. You can shut it. I will fight for my rights until I vanish. Punish me. I'm the baddest. I've been a bad boy and a good girl. I've been a bad boy and a good girl. And I pray for the future I hold on. I pray. Amen. Because my name is Marta, and here I am.
In the religion of the insecure, breaking your bones way down to the bone. Forgive, and maybe there's hope. Yesterday's not all black and blue. I am what I am. I am my own special creation. I am free to be. I'm stronger than yesterday. I'm free. Free me. Free my body. I don't want it. I'm stronger than I've been before. I am a born superstar. I am what I am. We do not have the time or the right to judge each other. It takes a lifetime to become the best versions of ourselves. And it's only one life. One life. So make sure you like what you see in the mirror. I love myself. I love you. I love.
Dear viewers, welcome to the Clash House. We just opened with a very special performance by TEUN. Creator of the brand TEUN. You're sitting here next to me. You had a hard time keeping it dry.
Very
How are you
much.
feeling right now?
Still very emotional, but relieved that it's done and that it came out as I wanted, as I pictured it in my head the day I started this collection. And yeah, I'm super, super proud of myself and my creative team and everybody, my models, my coaches, everybody who supported me on this journey and this contribution. yeah, I'm just very happy with it. Yes.
So good to hear. Can you tell me more about what this project means to you?
This project means a lot to me because it comes very deep from my own heart. It started as a piece of writing I wrote of myself, of how I experience my emotions and how I deal with emotions and being queer and being other than the society, how that sometimes can let you down, and how to persevere over that kind of feeling, the bad, the demonic side of it, to just overcome that. So it started from a very small writing for myself, and it builds up to this complete big celebration of otherness in a very glorious way. So I'm very excited for it. Yes.
Yeah, I think the message of your performance resonates with a lot of people. We saw people here in the studio crying and like really like snapping their fingers. Can you tell me a little bit more about the message and why it speaks to so many people?
Well, I think it's very important in this society nowadays that you see already like there's a lot of diversity, but it's still like you're celebrated because you're diverse. And for me, it's like I want to be celebrated for myself, and not for me wearing fake nails, me wearing blue hair, me being fat or black or whatever. It's for me. We need to embrace each as a human instead of each things of the looks from the outside. So I think that's the most and the biggest thing for this collection that represents it. Yeah,
that's a very powerful statement. Can you tell me a little bit more about you and your work?
Yes, well, I'm a very queer artist. I like to wear my nails.
I like your nails.
Thank you. I like to have lots of different hair options. So for me, living as a queer person is always a journey, and it's always like I'm never finished as a human. And I think that's also something important to know for the rest of the world, that we are never done as a human. We always explore and evolve in a certain way, and it can also be very much come together with your looks and your aesthetics, and that also reflects a lot in my work. It's celebrating otherness, it's celebrating queerness, it's celebrating the diversity of our beautiful world, and all the humans that are not feeling fitted in. I want to reach out to them and say that you are fitted in, you are your own special creation, and live it, and look in the mirror and love yourself.
Amazing, so important. And about this participation within the Clash House, can you tell me more about how that came about?
Well, it was quite a journey because for me it's quite a new thing as well. But I always wanted to do something with the spoken words or like diverse artists, because lots of artists have also they need to get a platform as well. So I wanted to collaborate with people I know, I believe in, I feel very comfortable with. So I wanted to work with different kind of artists as within spoken word. So that for me is already like a very big change for this.
And how did the Clash House supported that dream basically to create it?
Well, I got lots of good advice from my coaches. Gio was my theater kind of coach. He did like the aspect of the show, the platform, how we could connect everything within that. And next to that, I was also connecting with Philip about the visuals of the complete show and how that would execute. So in that way, Fashion Clash helped me very much to persevere what I wanted to do.
That's amazing. And what are your next steps in the near future? Are you going to be here next year too?
We'll see, we'll see. I said to myself, because this collection was like a very big emotional, mentally, physically ride for me. So I said, no collection next year. But that doesn't mean that you won't hear anything from me. I'm also evolving with myself as a drag artist. So maybe I do something with that instead of like a complete collection. But definitely want to participate in Fashion Clash next year again. I mean, it's such a nice platform to have, that they support young and creative designers and also like artists instead of designers, because it's an all-round platform. So I really believe in Fashion Clash, and I really would like to participate next year as well.
Yeah. I'm sure that me, myself, the whole team, and even the people at home would love to see more of you. So hopefully we'll see you next year. And if we don't see you here, we hope to see just something from you. Thank you so much, TEUN Seuren.
Thank you.
Our next showcase of the Clash House is a short film called I Am Motherland by theNEWtribe, a jewelry brand by Kalkidan Hoeks. And for this film, she collaborated with filmmaker Daniel van Houten. Here is I Am Motherland. Enjoy.
የፀሐይ ጨረርታ በመሬት ማህፀን እንደሚዘልቀው ሁሉ ቋንቋው ጠፍቶ ነበር። አዲስ ቋንቋ ተወለደ። ሶስተኛ ዓለም ተፈጠረ። ደረቁ መሬት ወደ ውሃ ሲለወጥ ውሃዎች ህይወትን አስመልክተው ንጽህናና የዳግም መወለድ ችሎታ እንዲያስተምሩ ተዋቸው። ደረቁ መሬቶች ኃይል እንደተሰጡ ያንተ ጉብዝናና ችሎታ እንደ የድሮ አባቶች ያንጸባርቃሉ። መሬት እንደጠበቀ ትጀምራለህ። እንደ እናት አይን ንጹህ የሆነ በጉዞ ውስጥ እጅህን ይዤ ከኔ ጋር እንደጀመረ እጓዛለሁ። የብረት ስብርባሮች እንደሚደንሱና ቋንቋ ሲጓዙ እንቅስቃሴያቸውን እየተከታተሉ ሲጓዙ የአራህና አሸብ መዝጊያ ቤቶች ይደርሳሉ። እየራቅህ የምትሄድ ቁልፍ ነው። ሰይፎች አሻቅበው ሲነሱ እዛ ላሉ ሲቆምላቸው እኛ ርቀን እንደዚህ ስንጓዝ ወደ ቤት የሚመጣው ነገር ለማጥራት መንፈስን ለመጠየቅ ዝግጁ ከሆንክ ያንተ ነጸብራቅን ያንቺን ነገር አንበሶች ሲዋኙ ትማራለህ። የአካሎቻቸው ክፍል ያገኙታል። በአፋፍ ላይ እንዲገኙ ዝግጁ ናቸው።
Tell me, where do I belong? Neither here or there, in the middle of it all. Maybe everywhere. Tell me, where do I belong? Neither here or there, in the middle of it all. Maybe everywhere. This illusion of belonging. The physical don't mean nothing. I'm carrying my ancestors with me, I ain't bluffing. I'm buzzing, king, I am motherland. Tender and I'm loving, I am not my vessel, I am under and above. I am where I need to be whenever the jig is up. I am not what I do and I am not my thoughts. So unless success is what I'm thinking of, in the middle of it all, know that you are legacy, you rise and then you fall. I am my own entity, I'm moving and dancing, slowly advancing, asking the questions and finding the answers. Yeah, and if the answers ain't true, then it's back upon the road, for the pressing doubles back, no head on the swivel, in the in-between the world. I can send you my location, but it won't be where I'm at. Tell me, where do I belong? Neither here or there, in the middle of it all. Maybe everywhere. Tell me, where do I belong? Neither here or there, in the middle of it all. Maybe every home is wherever I set foot. I found my purpose, but not in the textbook. You know me, soul searching in the world of phonies can get lonely. I found my people, I'm happy, I'm not the only. Somewhere in the middle, I decide where I belong. I won't let nobody tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong. King, I am motherland, royal in the flesh. My generation trying to clean after your mess. When lions become swimmers, you find a world in between. There you can see what it's been doing to me. I can't compare it to nothing I've ever seen, except maybe the sceneries of my dreams. Just me and myself. I love it. I care about me and my health. I love it. I'm doing what's good for my soul. I love it. I'm doing it all cause you know I love it. Just me and myself. I love it. I care about me and my health. I love it. I'm doing what's good for my soul. I love it. I'm doing it all cause you know I love it. Just me and myself. I love it. I care about me and my health. I love it. I'm doing what's good for my soul. I love it. I'm doing it all cause you know I love it.
እዚህ ላይ ካንተ አስቀድሞ የተጓዘበት መንገድ ለማግኘት ትችላለህ። መጪው ህይወት በፊት እየተጓዘ ይህ ሲጀምር በእግራችን ሲሆን መሬቱን ምልክት እያደረግንበት ነበር። ግንኙነት የተለያዩ ታሪኮች መጪውን ህይወት ይሆናሉ። አንድ ቀን ራስህ ከማንኛውም በላይ ጠንካራ ሆኖ ታገኘዋለህ። ይኸውም ሁሉ ነገር አንድ መሬት መሆኑ ስታውቅ ነው። የደረቁ መሬት ልጅ ወደ ለስላሳው መሬት ሲመለስ ያንተ ስር መሰረትና ያንተ ታሪክ እንደገና ይወለዳል። አንተ የኔ ውርሻ ነህ፣ አንተ የኔ ቅርስ ነህ፣ አንተ የኔ ስጦታ ነህ።
That was I Am Motherland by Kokidan. Kokidan, welcome.
Hi.
This is your first film with a narrative.
Yes.
It's very much about identity and a sense of belonging. Are
Yes.
these themes that you often work with, often think about?
Yeah, so I started more of like a search in 2018. That was my graduation year from Maastricht Institute of Arts. And I was really in a period where I was looking for my own identity. So I'm adopted from Ethiopia, but I grew up here in the Netherlands. So I've had different kind of phases I gave myself on how I needed to look, or what kind of hair should I straighten it, should I not straighten it. So I went through a lot of different phases, and in 2018 I realized that this start of this search in my work was about my way of making, how I felt I still related to my heritage, my Ethiopian heritage, but also I gotten so many influences as well from the Western world where I grew up in. So that was my start, but if I look at I Am Motherland now, like I've gone through different stages again where I realized that it's not just a search anymore, or about two different worlds and connecting them, because as you see in the work as well, it's about a new third world that's created by two worlds, and within that world you see artworks and jewelry pieces that relate to, or feel like they relate to, a culture, but it's a non-existing culture, so you can't place it in the world. And
in that sense, your work is very Afro-futuristic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Now that you say it, yes. It's also, I don't know. It's how you create your own illusion of how you ground yourself and how you position yourself. That was really important for me to reflect that. Yeah,
that's amazing. And can we see that back in the collection you designed?
Yes, absolutely. So, as for example, the earrings. They are also drawn from the Amharic language, so it's like, you also saw it in the movie, it's like a lost language for me, but a new one was born as well. So I recreated like a new language that is not there to read, but more as symbolical meaning and representational meaning. And I created these earrings out of them. So I hear a lot of people who are Habasha or Amharic, they feel like they relate to these objects, but they can't place it.
And so this is the first time you made a film, right?
Yes, it is.
Can you tell me more about that process? How was that for you?
Intense.
In what way?
Because when I started, I didn't have this collection. So I was first off working with my coaches also on this new concept, like that. What exactly was my next story I wanted to tell? That's where I started. And then it was like the making process. So it was me and my intern, and the creations and why I wanted to reflect certain things. But it was also, for the first time, I gave myself a lot of freedom where, because I think that's needed for me, not to, like what I used to do before, relate everything to this or that. Because if I want to show the blending of it, then I need to also let it go a bit. So that was a whole process. And then the whole filmmaking for me was also a whole process. Like, okay, where do you start? Like, I have it in my head, but how do we get it out?
And translate it.
Translate it. How are we going to film it? We had like 4 days of filming at least.
Oh, wow.
And it was quite intense, and you're working with kids and grown-ups. And so, there was a lot to learn. I learned a lot.
Would you do it again?
I would definitely do it again. This is not going to be the last TEUN film. Definitely not. No, I would love to make another one. Maybe different story also. But I liked it. Yeah.
Okay, and how does the Clash House? How did it challenge you?
There are different things that I really liked, and that's like, for example, the diversity of coaches. So
what kind of coaches did you have?
So for example, I come from the field of jewelry design, and in school I did have also diverse teachers, but mostly I also had my jewelry teachers. So and now it was nice that you had different type of people to talk to, that I also had still a jewelry design coach. I chose that. But it was nice to also talk to people about what comes after, like the challenge and the ideas you can have, where the film can go. And because often as a designer, you work towards this point where your work is done and you're going to show it somewhere, but what comes after, and how can you continue to maybe show more often this film and in different places where maybe it really fits and it really would have an effect in a way.
That's very interesting. Do you have any thoughts on that now? Or do you feel like it's finished? Oh, you have thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Right now it's planned that it could go, because it's not completely confirmed yet, but it could go to New York, and it could go as well to Amsterdam to show it there as well. But yeah, those are things that are like not sure yet, but at least it's an opportunity, and I think it was. I think the Clash House was really nice that you get also these opportunities. If you look at also the financial part as well, you know, I mean, if
very important.
Yeah,
the money.
no, it is very important. I mean, often I finance my own jewelry design collections. Yeah. And then you're very limited to really express yourself or in a bigger way. And now, because of this opportunity they give you to grow and develop and to try things out and to work with very professional people and so on and so on. It makes you grow as an artist as well. So I thought it was really nice.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And what are your next steps in the near future? This film is maybe going places, but do you have a vision for yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, most of the work right now were props. So they live within this film, and they were created to tell the story. But now I definitely want to make a wearable jewelry collection that people can wear, and then the story can also travel more. Yeah. So that's the next step.
Where would you like to see your jewelry be sold? Dream out loud. Or maybe a person who you want to wear your jewelry?
That's a complicated question. Oh, no. I mean, it's being sold in different places.
Already, yeah.
But I don't know. I always say I like real people with real stories. So I just as much value different people in my own neighborhood who are absolutely fascinated. Yeah. And then I'm very joyful when they wear my jewelry pieces, or somebody who's well known or something. So I'm always very happy when people can relate to the story and can feel connected. It's like a community. That's really important to me. So I think that's the good answer to that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I like that answer. Thank you so much, Carlijn Hoeks. We're going to the next performance already. It's a design studio that we've seen last year too. They are called The Nightmare Disorder, founded by Benji Nijenhuis and Nemo Gemine. And they're based in Arnhem, and they focus on tailoring and storytelling. And they have a very important and very interesting story to tell. Let's watch their short film.
Taking some nice, big, deep breaths in through your nose. You can breathe out through your nose, through your mouth. Do whichever feels more natural.
In the unlikely event of having to make an emergency landing, please adopt the brace position.
Bring all of your awareness to your breath. Release any thoughts about the past. Thoughts about the future. Feel the subtle ways your body gently moves as you exhale.
Wow, that was really fast. Benji and Nemo, hello, welcome. This is your second presentation at FASHIONCLASH Festival. Last year you introduced the Nightmare Disorder. What has happened since?
I think what happened since, we did some amazing projects. People approached us to, for example, Fashion Design Festival in Arnhem, who approached us to make a short fashion movie, which was about the influence of fashion. So we twisted in kind of an inspiration from the pandemic and how fashion can influence your mood somehow. So we did that with our vision and art direction, basically. Yeah. we did for Drag Race Holland, like for the Countess, we designed like a custom-made costume, which is like the most amazing thing to do. Like we really enjoyed that whole process, which was like inspired by Beetlejuice, like this vintage Tim Burton character, which is also like super on brand for us. And yeah, those kind of like small projects were like filled up our year last year, I think. Yeah.
That's amazing, and it's all because of Fashion Clash, basically.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did we just see? It was so short, so fast. Tell us more about it.
So yesterday we had 10 small shows. So this is a film that was filmed yesterday. So we had like an open installation, and you could come in as an audience to experience this new realm of the nightmare disorder. We actually, like, I think it was about a year ago, we saw this documentary about, it was about ancient Egyptian ruins and how they have these tomes in where they display somebody's stuff, and then they bury the person there, and then they make all the illustrations on the wall, and it's to have the most fabulous afterlife, kind of, and that idea really fascinated us. So we wanted to create this own space in between the living world and the world of the dead.
I think we were also like very inspired by the fact that like this fabulous afterlife, like how, like, you know, that people are like making those drawings to like kind of
enhance this world that has to come still, kind of. So,
and we were like super inspired by that fact that you like create your own like holy space where you can like travel in and out to like another world somehow. So that was
and I also feel like now, especially in these days, I feel like death is kind of close. People are confronted with death a lot of the times, and in that reason, I think that's why we thought it was kind of interesting now to kind of create this world that's not necessarily something that's very scary, but that also can, I don't know, trigger some sort of peace. I mean, you've succeeded this great game of life, and then you arrive somewhere, and that could be also a very beautiful space. And I think that's something that we wanted to research how we imagined that would look like.
Yeah. And what I'm wondering, because you were part of the Clash House last year, this is your second time. Was it easier to find ways to create something new because you already knew how it went, or was it like a new challenge?
Well, it was a new challenge, I think, for sure.
In what way?
It was different than last year, because last year, this year was set up with the whole coachings as well. I mean, last year we had a coach as well, but that was very one-on-one, and this time we got to experience some different sides.
Yeah. What kind of coaches did you have?
We were coached mostly by Mami and Giovanni as well, and Jan Schoon. And they all had a different perspective. I think we had a lot of coaching with Mami because she's very about movement and really she really liked the idea also of that we wanted to create this experience, so we went more in depth with her, I think.
I think it's also like our work is like not sensitive at all. It's really like a smack in your face like somehow, and I think Mami really did like a great job to like see with us where we can like guide the audience to this like more sensitive experience, and also see it like from the perspective of the audience, because we're always like designing from our like interest. And I think that was like really also a beautiful thing that like was created out of this coaching process, I think.
And was it easy to like stick to your own signature style, or did you feel like you had to let go of control a little bit?
I think it's the most easiest always to stick to what we like to do. I think it's hard. It's hard. Well, no, it's not. No, it's easy. I think. Like our work is very aesthetic in a way that we have a clear aesthetic in what we like,
very
using
clear.
the stripes and stuff like that. So
And what are your next steps in the near future?
Well, this was kind of the door. We call it also the false door. This was the door to the afterlife. So the next step was going to be a collection that might live in that space.
It's also like we find it so fascinating, like how every culture has their own beliefs in what happens when you like past the great beyond. So that's also like, I think, our biggest inspiration for now. So we leave it a bit open, but we are very driven to now really create like a whole collection like of garments, because we did like a lot of different projects, but not really like a whole collection. So that's like, we're very like excited to start that process.
Your vision is always so clear. It's like you're already like 10 steps ahead. You exactly know what you're doing.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, well, we started sitting down together and talking about where we want to be in the future, and we're just slowly seeing step by step. Also, we're very fictitious designers. We really want to tell stories.
Yeah.
And every time from this story, also, it opens the door to a new story. So it's kind of like the next chapter. So
it just makes sense.
It already, it evolves. The new ideas for the next step always come during the project. So
amazing. Are you excited about the future?
Definitely, yeah, for sure.
I love your enthusiasm. Thank you so much, Benji and Nemo.
Thank you. Yeah.
Our next showcase is the work of Carlijn Veurink, which initiates collaborations between different disciplines. She tries to discover new ways in which a costume can play an autonomous and sculptural role in a performance. Let's watch her performance. We just saw the performance by Carlijn Veurink. Carlijn, what did we just see?
Well, yeah, this was performance. So I always make kind of usually it's costumes that kind of interact with the body, and this time I wanted to even make it bigger and kind of make an installation, or that it's gonna be more than just one person is gonna put it to work and interact with it. Yeah. Kind of that it comes alive and
Amazing. And how did the Clash House coaches help you with that?
I think it's nice because also Fashion Clash also always is such a great platform for the trying different things, and the Clash House is just the perfect moment to experiment more with performance and also dancer. So that was it was just a.
And did you already have your own idea of how the performance should look like and what you wanted it to be? Did you have like a clear vision?
Well, the vision kind of changed as I was making it, because always making something is kind of a process. Yeah. You start with a little experiment, and then that works in a certain way, and then you try to make it bigger, and then it works differently. And then you come here and you have the performances or the dancers, and it's also really different. So I think it's really nice that it just keeps on evolving, and that I think that's the way it should be as well. So that was actually really nice.
And do you want to see this evolve even further?
Well, yeah, I was actually thinking now, because I started with the costumes before, and now it's more installation, that I would really like to grow it even to like a stage design costume, it's just gonna. I think that would be really nice. That it's even more performers maybe, or just like a,
And would you be able to know to take the right steps to create that?
I think it's always like an experiment. So I don't think you can just on forehand already know what steps to take. I think it's just an experiment, and if you just have to try different things and
And what would you need to be able to do that?
What I would need. A lot of space, probably.
Just maybe we talked earlier with other designers about maybe the funding, the support of coaches from different fields.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Mostly that you kind of a little bit early in the process already involved with dancers, or because I think that really can bring it to the next level. So that's. And of course, funding is always like the difficult thing that you don't want to think about, but it's really important. You have to.
Yeah. And what are your next steps in the near future?
Just what I just said, like more collaborating with dancers, and also I have actually a label. Because my work process is really like experimenting with materials and kind of see how it moves and see how it behaves, and putting it on a stage usually. But I also really like to experiment more how you can use it in like daily life. So I have more like a little bit more everyday.
Because the costumes you made previously are not really wearable.
No, it's mostly like really big and sculptural,
very experimental.
Yeah. So it works really well on stage. But I also think it would be really nice to see how it can be in a more daily setting. So that's also what I kind of two things besides each other.
Yeah. So the way you experiment with fabrics is also the way you experiment with how people wear it, or how you can see the movement, basically.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And do you have like a signature style in your work? Like, because we just saw something with all the, how do you say that?
Yeah, it was threads.
Something like that. Well, is that a signature style?
I think so. It's always colorful, sculptural. And the movement is kind of key.
The most important in your work.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, thank you so much for telling us more about your work. We're going to move on to the next performance, which is by Bobbine Berden Design, and it's called Flaneren in Oma's Kleren, and the English translation for that is Strolling in Grandma's Clothes. Let's watch the short film of Bobbine's installation. Bobbine, Berden. So you had an installation at Blancdaal, Maastricht. Tell us more about the installation, because I couldn't be there. Unfortunately, probably the viewers at home couldn't be there either. Tell us, what was it?
Well, actually, it's a living room installation, which I created with a dear friend of mine, Evie. She's a journalist, and I would pronounce myself as a visual narrative designer. And together,
visual narrative designer. Wait, what does that mean?
Well, actually, I use fashion as a medium to create stories, and most of the time visually, and which I use all kinds of media, so film, audio, but also, analog installation or a game or whatever.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did that translate to this installation you had?
Yeah, well, together with this friend, we tried to use a combination between visual narrative and written narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And Flaneren and Oma's Kleren started with the grandma of Evie passed away during the corona time, unfortunately. And we figured out that in all those elderly houses, most of the time the garments of the people who are passing away are thrown away. Mm. So we started to collect all those garments and to start to talk to friends and family to let the garments relive actually the story of the true owner. Mm-hmm. And I try to visualize all those stories within objects with a special meaning towards the existing story already, all made of those garments. And within this installation, I try to put 5 older people together and try to connect them. Actually you see all the QR codes, kind of reference also to the corona crisis, which you can scan and can read all those stories as well.
It sounds like a very emotional project.
It was, and this was also the difficulty, that you had so many stories, so many emotions, and happy, but also very sad. And it was actually wonderful to have the opportunity to talk to all those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did the Clash House support you in creating this?
Well, actually this program starts supporting me to create something fashionable without using a body, but only the story of someone else's body who was dressed. So I thought it was very nice to put fashion in a new kind of context. So it's also, everything within the fashion industry is based on it should go fast, and it's based on trends, and everything is for very short of time. And if you look at this installation, it takes at least 30 minutes to discover all the stories.
Oh, wow.
So it's actually also challenging to look at garments and everything you can create, and the emotion and the value of garments in a different perspective.
Yeah. So it slows you down.
Yeah. Wow. And I think we should.
Yeah. And did you face any challenges in this project, in this process?
Yeah, loads. I missed the body because I was.
Because usually you do work with bodies.
Yeah, sometimes from models, but also from someone who is viewing my work, or you can, involve yourself within my work. And this was for the first time. You could only touch and read, and it was very, very weird for myself that when I was making something, there was no one there to try it on and to
And how did you deal with that? And did it make you more creative, or was it actually hard to think around it?
Yeah, well, it was very, very fun because normally I create my own story and I design through my critical opinion. But for now it was that other people gave me the context. So I worked with the stories of all those older people, and they created in the end my story, my objects, and everything around that. So I think it definitely made me more creative.
Yeah. So is it something you would do again?
Yeah, I would love to continue with this. Yeah, especially because I think it's very nice to see that garments can have a different kind of body than just the human body.
Yeah. That is so interesting. And do you feel like now your vision is broadened, has widened, that there are so many more opportunities without like making use of a body, which sounds very weird, but you get it.
Weird. Yeah. I'm not sure how to answer this one, but I think there are a lot of ways how we can use fashion as medium and be critical about this as well, because there are especially if you look at all the garments we already have, and if you look at all this whole program, if you look at all the projects we saw, you see there is so many more than just a dress. Or,
Would you consider this like critique on fast fashion?
Well, it's not like activistic, but it's more like a whisper.
And just a different way of looking at fashion.
I think you can see it as a different perspective.
And do you have anything on the map for the future?
Well, we would love to, me and Evie would love to continue to gather more stories, more garments, and be creative with those, this kind of footage. And for myself, as a narrative designer, I would love to challenge myself with a new kind of medium.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you already know what kind of medium?
No, but I was very inspired by someone during this fashion clash I saw. And she made work kind of robotic. And it was kind of also without a body, a human body, but she created her body herself. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Do you know the name of the designer?
Isabel.
Isabel. Oh wow!
I don't know her last name.
Okay,
unfortunately.
That's okay. Probably people can look it up online.
Yeah, it was amazing. So and I thought it was very inspiring that she didn't use the body, but she still create movement for her garments.
Yeah. Sounds amazing. I wish you so much luck in the future with this project and all the other endeavors you're gonna do and find out and explore. Thank you so much, Bobbine.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen at home, this was the Clash House at Fashion Clash Festival 2021. I hope you enjoyed all the performances. It was very inspiring, very emotional too, and also just like it was mind-blowing, right? It was mind-blowing. I want you to enjoy the rest of our program. Enjoy your evening.